Hi, all. DT Neal, talking to you more about science fiction, fantasy, horror, genre, storytelling, and the like. Picking up where I left off about cyberpunk, one thing people talk a lot about with cyberpunk is this idea of high tech and low life, which is to say you have high tech toys out there, but most people are living in this absolute miserable condition, which indirectly or even directly, I think, is a reflection of the value of cyberpunk because it does illustrate the, I guess it's a paradox. It's not really paradoxical, it feels inevitable to me, but that idea that the technological advancements are easier to accomplish than the human advancements. Or, more to the point, is all the technological advancements in the world don't mean anything if they are captured or contained within the capitalistic greed tsunami that the mega corporation. The idea that, like, well, they might have something that could cure a particular thing, but they're not going to do that because it's not profitable for the company to do it, so they're not going to do it, and so they hold on to the patent rights of it and keep it a secret. So while cyberpunk, in my opinion, was a great innovation in terms of science fiction, it was also a little bit, and this is all my perspective, but it was a little bit of kind of like a tombstone on modernity, which I guess could be seen as postmodernity. But it was this idea of the promise of technology coming true and it not helping anybody, or not helping most people, or maybe not even helping the people at the top of the pyramid. That too, because they're still just as unhappy. They're still just as human. And one of the things I certainly see from a perspective of science fiction is the peril of that technological advancement. And this is more advanced than where we currently are right now. But that idea of solving, quote, solving the human condition by solving the problem of mortality for the elite. You know, the people who have won, who've already won the game, they want to win more. The only way a super rich person is going to win is if they can live forever, to enjoy their wealth forever, right? That's the way they ultimately win. And they can do so without any threat of challenge, anyone challenging them, or usurping them, or overthrowing them. And so it's a techno-tyranny, right, from that perspective. And cyberpunk, I think, very cannily offered glimpses into those worlds and critiques into those worlds. And how so many of us, everyday people, are insignificant. The old science fiction used to think, well, everyone's going to be great. Everyone's going to be able to go, again, like I said a couple posts ago, like shoe shopping on the moon. With just a ridiculous kind of notion. It's almost laughable nowadays, or it is laughable. But nowadays, I think an abundant number of us are realizing, oh man, we are being left behind. We have no place in this future. And those other people, the elites, economic, political elites, are using the power of the state toward their own ends at the expense of everybody else who's not in the club. And that bifurcation is critical. It's a critical thing to be aware of when you're thinking about cyberpunk and how we get out of that. And I don't know if it's really possible to get out of it, to be honest. That's part of that great wall that I was mentioning before, because while the techno elite have tremendous money and resources, they will always be not very numerous. They are vastly outnumbered by the 99%, the majority of people who have no stake in that future. And from a writer perspective, it's difficult to put any kind of either moral lesson or happy ending on that kind of content, because it's almost like we've passed that point of where a moral lesson could actually be meaningful. There is no cure for it aside from the radical upending of everything in our society. And even then, it may not be realizable because of challenges therein. And I think that is why a lot of people writing run into that kind of wall, because it's a massive mental lift to move past it.